Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. And another heavyweight news and notes mashup video today, starting with Deontay Wilder, whose manager Shelley Finkel says that Wilder is open to fighting in the UK, and it's something that he has spoken to him about recently, saying, yes, in the past and recently, he loves the UK. He always says that the UK fans give him so much love. He has a deep, deep feeling to the fans and the country. And Finkel also says that Wilder still believes that he can beat Tyson Fury, remembering Deontay Wilder is potentially in the frame to get the WBC mandatory shot should he win his next couple of fights. Currently ranked number 1, has to beat Robert Helenius, and then there's a final eliminator that would await him against Andy Ruiz Jr. in 2023. Finkel saying, deep in my heart, I believe Deontay Wilder could beat Tyson Fury. He hasn't shown it, and Fury executed his plan. I have a lot of respect for Fury. The man has conquered a lot and risen to the top. My hat's off to him. And certainly Wilder's hat is not off to him, saying that he believes Tyson Fury cheated, but obviously Shelley Finkel a little bit more sort of level with his comments. Meanwhile, though, Oleksandr Usyk is planning to be ringside for Wilder's next fight on October 15th, which is against Robert Helenius, and will be at the Barclays Center. And Usyk, and you've probably seen these comments, is saying that he's open to a Wilder fight should Tyson Fury not be available. Remembering Fury and Joshua currently negotiating a fight potentially for December 2022, Oleksandr Usyk had said he wanted a little bit of a break, returning to the ring at the earliest in the first few months of next year. And seemingly they may end up sort of passing each other in the night. Undisputed could be delayed. Usyk now talking of Deontay Wilder, saying Wilder is a dangerous fighter, and that fight would most likely be in the United States. And of the talk about Fury and Joshua potentially fighting, he says, I'm not pissed off at all. The bigger problem is Tyson Fury is not letting fans see one of the biggest historical bouts in boxing history. That's his fault, not mine. So I'm not pissed at all. Tyson Fury can fight whoever he wants to fight. And he concludes, from the standpoint of sportsmanship, of course it's not correct. And he's referring to Fury fighting Joshua instead of him. Make of it what you will. Certainly some people are going to say that Usyk is the creator of this own predicament by not wanting to fight Fury in December, although he was coming off an August 2022 fight with Anthony Joshua. So, in terms of the Fury-Joshua stuff, we'll just briefly touch on this. So, you have contracts now with Anthony Joshua in his camp, so he agreed to all terms. Frank Warren saying the contracts have been sent to Anthony Joshua's team. Now we wait for them to go through and sign what we can to get one of Britain's biggest boxing events on. The WBC title will be on the line, but this will be as much about bragging rights between the pair. For years, we've wanted this to happen, and we're close. We've been close before, but now seems to be the time it will finally happen. Well, I guess fingers crossed. Carlos Takam's promoter or co-promoter, Joe DeGuardia of Star Boxing, has paid tribute to the 41-year-old Takam after his performance against Arslanbek Makhmudov, where he basically split the rounds with Makhmudov but got dropped a couple of times, dropping a decision to the Russian who fights out of Canada. This fight was in Montreal, and that was the first time that Makhmudov had been taken to decision. DeGuardia says, Carlos again proved that he belongs at the elite level of the heavyweight division. Makhmudov came into the fight with high praise, and Carlos matched him. Carlos consistently thrills fans with his fantastic action fights and will test any fighter in the division. Every time out, Carlos earns the respect of the crowd and boxing fans across the world. Congratulations to Team Makhmudov on the victory. So I wouldn't say that Carlos Takam is elite, because Makhmudov is not elite. He's a sort of a fringe contender coming through, but it was a very good performance by Carlos Takam, and he certainly is going to bag a few more paydays on the back of those sorts of performances. Charles Martin says he can beat anyone. He says, I can punch, so I have a chance against anyone, including Tyson Fury. Tyson is a good dude. He helps a lot of people, and he came into the ring and congratulated me when I won the IBF title. Tyson can pick who he wants to fight, and it would be the biggest blessing to fight the #1 fighter in the world. I'll do it for a lot less than Derek Chisora. I think Charles Martin, though, is sort of not really in the picture, considering his loss to Luis Ortiz the first day of this year. He is coming off a win over Devin Vargas. A war of words has erupted between British prospects Franklin Ignatius and Hosea Stewart, who fought to a draw a few months ago. So the pair had been rescheduled to fight in a few months, but Ignatius has posted that it's not happening, and he sounded off about it. So saying, sorry to disappoint you guys, the anticipated rematch is off. The Midlands chicken turned tail and ran. My team is still looking to secure an opponent for me, and hopefully I'll still be out, but I'll keep you posted. And he went on to say this.
Sunday people, I got some bad news to say. Me and my team agreed, but Hosea must have lost his balls, woke up in the morning and said he can't do it. Made up a fake injury. They showed the business. Wasn't it him on Instagram make up nonsense video hitting pads, but you know, he lost his balls. It is what it is. My team are looking to get me out anyway, and I'll keep you guys posted. You know, sorry man, but the man turned chicken and ran. He's happy he got a draw and ran with it. Keep you posted. Speak soon.
Hosea Stewart, meanwhile, has posted to his social media saying, so this Franklin talking, trying to come up off my name, making out like I'm trying to avoid him. He don't believe his own shit. We'll run that fight back real soon and slap some sense into him so we can see straight. Once this injury is seen to, let's get it, stop lying to the people, Dem, and then a bunch of hashtags. And he also posted this clip.
So we got this pussy flapping his lips again, trying to stay relevant, talking about I don't want the fight, and we're faking injuries and all them mad talks there about chicken. Franklin, you and your cheerleaders, come off it. I done told you and anybody else that needs to know already, we'll take that rematch anytime. That ain't a problem to me. I'll ping it off with one arm. We got an injured C2 right about now. My career comes first. But after that, put your uniform on and I'll gladly take you to school because you like work to me. You ain't on levels. Believe that. Know your place. Fight a man with two arms and we'll see what's happening. And next time, don't be mentioning names with you crossed him out. You need to cream your face, man. Show some respect. But yeah, love to my people showing support anyway. Soon be back to punch up this bacon dread and shut him up once and for all. Yeah, send him back to his little pits.
And actually, I'm really looking forward to that rematch because it was just a 4-rounder, but arguably Ignatius, in my view, won that fight. So it was a judge the draw, referee alone, 2 apiece. But I thought it was 3-1 to Ignatius. And Hosea Stewart has come out online afterwards saying that he got the win, and obviously Ignatius doing the same. So a little bit of beef here, a little bit of heat in this one. Looking forward to the rematch. Gunnar Colbin Christensen has reflected on his time in the Joseph Parker camp. Parker, of course, preparing for Joe Joyce September 24th. So Christensen saying, today was the last day of the Parker camp. These past 4 weeks have been some of the most enjoyable of my career, boxing at the highest level and great company. Thank you guys for everything and see you soon. Everyone remember to stay tuned for September 24th to watch Joseph Parker smash Joe Joyce. The German prospect Christian Thun has reflected on his recent loss to Curtis Harper. It was an upset defeat, and you can see here with this video clip, he's getting a pin removed from his thumb. He hurt his hand in that fight, but also he was dropped heavily. He says, I didn't respect the sport. I got carried away with the sweet things that life has to offer. I didn't respect the people that believed in me. Often people that have been on this journey with me since a decade or even more. Friends and fans, I apologize. I lost the fight, and coaches, agents, managers, matchmakers, pretty much everybody that had some say in my career got falsely blamed. The only person to blame is myself, turning up to a fight 20 pounds overweight and having underlying issues that needed to be dealt with. But those were not the only reasons why I lost, even though advised differently. I decided to fight regardless, so once again, I am 100% to blame. And there is more there if you want to go check that out on his social media, but not often that the fighter will have one of these sort of moments where they get honest with themselves and instead of blaming others and being deluded and all that sort of stuff. So credit to Christian Thun for recognizing that he had a part to play in this, and it was a shock upset. He didn't look quite right in that one, and obviously dropped heavily by Curtis Harper, and that can happen. Curtis Harper is a good sort of gatekeeper journeyman. Hopefully they do run that one back. We'll just quickly touch on the IBF and also WBO rankings out in the recent days. So you've got Andy Ruiz Jr. in the IBF shooting up to a number 3. He hadn't been ranked before. Luis Ortiz had been in that spot, drops to number 14 in the rankings. Also, Murat Gassiev, he enters the rankings as well at number 11. Previously, Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker had been in the top 15, but as they're competing for the WBO mandatory, they are both dropped. And that also happened to them in the WBC rankings. And as for the WBO rankings, where Joyce and Parker do top the 15, Andy Ruiz Jr. coming up to number 4 in those rankings. A little bit of other minor movement. And rounding up this heavyweight news and notes mashup video, Joey Dawejko set to return to the ring. This will be his second fight since his comeback from retirement. October the 7th, he will be facing Terrell Jamal Woods. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often, hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.